In this segment, I'm going to talk to you about something that I believe is vitally important to your growth as a nature photographer, and also something that I believe will improve your experiences and the quality of your experiences when you're out in nature. And that is learning to slow down and become more of an observer. Learning to observe first before you get your camera out of the bag. I remember when I first began my career as a nature photographer, when I would go out into the forest, I was rushing about, I was trying to photograph everything that I saw. Anything that moved, I was trying to make a photograph of it. If there was a water droplet, I was trying to photograph it. If the sun was breaking through the trees, I was trying to photograph it. If there was a mountain, I was rushing to the top of the mountain to try to make a sunrise shot. And then I was rushing back down to leave to see what I had gotten. I came home exhausted, utterly exhausted every time I was in the field, and it was not a pleasant experience. There was none of the peace that I was trying to get. I was just concerned with trying to make images that would sell or make the next award-winning image. And all of this noise, all of this clutter in my mind was really taking away from the experience that I had been seeking when I first decided to embark on this path. And it was funny, it wasn't until I started reading some of the words of naturalists such as John Muir that I really began to realize that I needed to slow down and just focus on nature first. And I knew that that would eventually improve my experiences, or at least I hoped it would. This really came home to me. I was in the woods at my home shooting, and I was photographing a salamander that, it was a species that I had hoped to come across for quite some time. And the salamander was not happy about being photographed. It was starting to become stressed. And I always try to put the well-being of the subject first, so I released it and I sat down feeling defeated on a log. I sat there for a while just thinking about things. And then I looked to the right, and right there in front of me, this entire time, was an incredible nocturnal bird called a Chuckwill's widow. And this was a bird that I had always dreamed of seeing, but I would only hear it at night. And there it was right there in front of me. I would have never seen this bird had it not been for slowing down. And since that time, I have really tried to make this a part of my work. You've got to imagine that when you enter into the forest or the desert or wherever you may be shooting, you're entering into the home of a whole group of plants and animals. And you imagine you're sitting in your living room with your family watching television, and some giant with a flashing machine bursts through your door. You're going to be terrified. You're going to try to hide. You're going to throw things at them. You're going to call the police. The last thing you're going to do is act relaxed and natural. So we have to be cognizant of that. We have to remember that when we go into a natural environment. If we sit down and relax, we're going to get more than just a freeze frame of a frightened animal. We're going to be able to record natural behavior, which is going to improve not only our experience, but the quality of our images. So here's your experience, here's your challenge. I want you to go out into nature. Don't get your camera out of the bag, leave your camera in the bag, and that's going to be tough. Bring a notepad and write down everything you see in one single spot for 15 minutes. It could be in your backyard, it could be in the forest, or on the beach, or in the desert. But stay in that one spot for 15 minutes. If you can go longer, great. But I challenge you not to get up, as hard as that's going to be. You will be amazed at what you see. And the cool thing is, what this will teach you is that no matter where you're at, there's lots and lots of great things to photograph. I know from my own personal experience, there are so many missed opportunities out there that I pass by because I'm in a hurry to get somewhere else. Whereas if I would just sit down and relax, the world just opens up in front of you. So good luck, and no matter how tempting it is, don't get your camera out of the bag and don't get up until 15 minutes have passed. Good luck.